Hello, my math friends. Welcome to Studio Math. We have a question from Akalesh, an inequality that needs to be solved. Before I get into it, I just want to let you know I have a quick tip at the end of this video on how to solve more advanced versions of these problems. And that being said, this is a more beginner-friendly problem which are solved pretty much the same way as equations, but there is one caveat we have to remember, so stay tuned until the end of this video for that tip. Let's dive right in. Here we have the inequality setup. I've rewritten it here, and we're going to simplify both sides as much as possible as we usually do in any equation. The left side, there's nothing to do there. I can't combine any like terms, but on the right, I can distribute that negative 1/2. So when we do that, we get negative 1/2 times positive 4, and you're going to get negative 2x. Okay. Then the negative 1/2 times negative 4 will be a positive 2. Okay. Now, again, we need to get all of our x terms together to one side. I choose to add 2x to the right side because I know that negative 2x plus 2x will cancel out. And you make sure that you add to the left side to keep this balanced. So 4x plus 2x is essentially 6x. And in our next step, we will see that we get our 6x plus 8, which we brought down from up here, is less than 2, which we brought down from the right side. We want to isolate our x term, so therefore I will be subtracting 8 from the left side because 8 minus 8 is 0. So those will go away. Keep it balanced. 2 minus 8 is negative 6. And we get our next step, which is 6x is less than negative 6. Okay, that's this step right here. The next thing we want to do is, again, continue to isolate our x. I will be dividing by 6. Why am I dividing by 6? Well, because I know 6 divided by 6 will give me 1, which means x will be alone. Keep it balanced. On the right, negative 6 divided by 6 will be a negative 1. And we get to our last step with our final answer, x is less than negative 1. Now, if you are being asked to graph this solution, we would do so as such on a number line. And basically, we can put the negative 1 in the middle. And we'll have 0 to the right, and so on and so forth, the rest of our numbers down the line, negative 2 to the left, negative 3, and so on and so forth. So what this solution is telling us is that you can plug in anything for x as long as it's a number less than negative 1, which means that my solution is from negative 1, open circle, because it does not include negative 1, and any number to the left, less than. That's the whole meaning of this. And that will be your solution. Now, that extra tip I was talking to you about has to do with more advanced versions of these inequalities that we need to solve. Let's say, for example, you have a problem given, and I'm not going to write one out. Whatever it is, you have an inequality here. At the end of the day, when you do the work, right, and you get to this last step, and let's say it's negative 2x is less than 8. Okay, so again, this could be any inequality. You do the work as we did on the first problem here, but at the end of the day, you have a negative 2x. What I want you to pay attention to is the fact that when we divide out this negative right here, and we make sure to do it to both sides, what's going to happen here is, as usual, negative 2 divided by negative 2 will be 1, so x is left alone. And 8 divided by negative 2 is negative 4. However, When you are in this last step and you're dividing out a negative, you need to flip that inequality sign. So instead of it being a negative less than, it's got to be a greater than. Now I can go into more detail about why that is, but if you just want the short of it, just remember when you are dividing out a negative at the end, make sure you flip that sign. And that way you don't get into trouble with some other versions of this problem, and you should be good to go. So hopefully that was helpful. You got this, and good luck with the rest of your work. Go get it.